So good day, everyone, and Assalamu alaikum. On behalf of Global CIO Forum, Juniper Networks and Mindware, I welcome all the online attendees to this live virtual summit on Discover the Power of AI Driven by Experience. Juniper Networks and Mist AI are using artificial intelligence to make networks more predictable and measurable. In this session, we will learn how to build the network of the next decade using Mist AI and Microservices Cloud, how to drive better device experience across a unified wired and wireless network, how to get network insights at your fingertips, how to automate operations and simplify troubleshooting with self-driving networks, and how to deliver innovative location services with virtual Bluetooth, amongst others. Educating us on this subject today is Rafat Al-Karmi, Senior Consulting Engineer at Juniper Networks. Before I hand over to Rafat, here are some short housekeeping rules. All attendees are on mute throughout the session. However, we encourage attendees to ask questions through the chat option, and the questions will be answered at the end of the session. So before I hand over to Rafat, I would like to call in the Mindware team for a short quiz and a poll. Over to you, Mindware.
Thank you so much, Arun. Hello, everybody. It's a pleasure having you today. And to start, before we start the session, it would be nice to know all of you what you think about your network, what exactly you see in your daily experience. So we'll play a quick, we'll have a quick poll. Please see your chat screen on the right and click on the link which says Kahoot IT and open the browser. And you will see a game pin coming online. Can you please enter the pin that is shown in front of you? I hope everybody can enter. We are waiting for the players to log in, and then we can start.
If anybody has a problem to put it on the chat.
I suggest if you can put your aliases, in that way we can see that you have joined. Should I put in the link link again in case anybody has an issue? Okay, we can see 4 players still. We wait for another minute. Excellent. Okay, we can see there's everybody is getting the hang of it and able to join now. Give me a moment. I seem to have a technical issue. We can start now. You will see that the poll has started, and it is something very, very basic questions, which will appear right in front of you. And the first question being, what is the major Wi-Fi problem you face generally? Users cannot connect, or a weak coverage, or the number of drops that are there, or slow network connectivity. I'm sure you face this every day. So it would be good to see some answers coming in. Okay. And then we move on to the next question. It looks like weak coverage is the most common answer. moving on to the next question. How do you generally troubleshoot a customer problem? Customers are your day-to-day go-to people. How do you troubleshoot the problem? Do you really ask them to reproduce it? Or you send an engineer with a wireless sniffer? Or you prefer that an AI troubleshoots the root cause analysis or ask users if they have a similar issue? Well, 50% of the audience has answered they ask the customers to reproduce the problem. Interesting. And we move on to the third one. How much time do you generally take to set up the wireless network? 10 days or 10 minutes? Now, this will be interesting to see what everybody has to say.
And there is no wrong, no right, Falguni.
That's correct. It is. It's an opinion poll. It's not a quiz, so all answers are welcome. More or less, yes, everybody's got a varying feedback, and that itself gives us a lot of visibility. And moving into the last question, how do you really know your network is not performing? Do you wait for the users to complain? Are you proactively monitoring it? An alarm? Or you review logs? What is the most common thing when users are complaining? So that's the most common answer. And secondly, when there is an alarm generated. Okay, great. Thank you so much for being a great participants. And I move forward to hand over the podium to Rifat.
Thank you, Falguni. And I will share my screen right now. And 1 second. Okay. You can see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, the presentation one, right?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. Thank you everyone for having us today, and welcome to the Experience First Networking. My name is Rifat Karmi. I am responsible for the technical point of view for the AI part of Juniper, Middle East and Africa. And I am excited to talk to you about the next generation actual networking, where we focus on the experience of the individual user. So without further delay, I will comment first about the poll, which is really exciting, about seeing your feedback about how you do your current troubleshooting, what issue you have, the pain point you have it. Perfect. So we can start from that point. If before we start, okay, let's have in the way back, okay, what's happened in the pandemic, okay? We did see that the technology become a life dependency. In the pandemic, we realized how much IT did affect our life. And let me just actually enable my camera here so we can actually, you can see that me while I'm talking to you. And you know, the second thing is technology has been evolved a lot in this 1 year and a half, maybe faster than ever. And a lot of dependency become on technology, from work from home, from what we are doing today as video conferencing and remote session. But let's go back and see. In a couple of years, we believe the first human will be landing on Mars. The hyperloop technology will make the travel in very fast, safe way, like in less than an hour between Paris and London. Also, we had the self-driving cars that will become a passenger to our own vehicles. Delivery that same day or next day will be part of the history, to be within 60 minutes, even less with the self-driving, drone. But what about network? What about our own issues, which is, what we are looking at today? Juniper did really push the boundaries, and we pushed the network to the next level, where AI take control of the network, offload you from managing and looking for every single device and just focus on your core business and leave the network managing itself. So if we see also what the pandemic brings to us is the challenge of the cost and the economic part of it. So every single organization of ours, they are requesting from us to do more with less resources because of the cost, and the number of user devices get explode. If you see average user at home, at office, in the street, anywhere, the average now 5 devices. You have 2 phones, you have a tablet, you have a smart watch, smart IoT devices, and so on. So become a lot of load on the IT team. And in addition, IT team has been asked to reduce the headcount to be competitive more in the market. So we have totally, 2 different lines. And this is where I come to the play along with the cloud outsourcing. So this is to offload you and allow you to do more with this. So now, as all of you there, you are a CIOs or IT decision maker. So there's 3 words we need to remember all the time. Okay, and this is for the coming couple of years, this is the mission and the vision for all of us. How we do modernization, how we make it modern, network, which is adopting our infrastructure for meeting the 21st century demand. Second, digitization, and this will show you today about how we can take the network, even the basic infrastructure, the second level, creating and delivering content, communicating with your individual user. This is important. And transformation, the last but not least, which is creating working approach, innovating services and processes. And we are all that create positive change, okay, last will take effect in our future. Now, we'll talk about now Juniper vision. So what is Juniper vision here? We are taking and extending our AI from the wireless and wired and the wide area network, which we consider it the next generation SD-WAN, which is the version 3, we call it. And we need to extend it to the data center, and we are in the process of doing this, and have it end-to-end. We call it client to cloud, C2C, from the device itself to the cloud, which is going to be private, public, it depends about your deployment, where your application has been hosted, all the way, and we give you the user experience, application to application, and this is the bottom line you're looking for. And many companies, if you see today, they are claiming AIs, and when it comes to the AI initiative, there's an axiom used by data sciences and machine learning, and they are saying that good data leads to good insight, which is absolutely true. But think about it, partial data lead to the partial insight. For that, Juniper extend the AI among the full technology stack. So we know if it's wireless, wired, the WAN, your data center, the application itself, and we give you end-to-end insight for the experience. That's our AI-driven enterprise involved client to cloud, okay, and give you the full experience end-to-end. Now, with the Gartner thing, we need something that to stamp that Juniper is doing the right thing. And, nothing better than Gartner to see and validate our goal. So Gartner put Juniper as leader of all leaders in the wired and wireless network. And the main reason for that, not because we have larger switch, larger access point, or huge router only, no, not at all. The main reason why we are ahead of everyone in the vision and in execution is the AI capability and how it reflected on your operational day by day. So they said, as the Gartner statement, we have a true AI. And think about it, true AI, that means not every single one claiming AI is it an AI company. Now, secondly, in the digital transformation, we need location services. So we need the network to be aware about the connectivity of every individual user using their mobile devices, their tablet, the asset, and the standard today working through Bluetooth. So Bluetooth become a mainstream like the Wi-Fi, heads to head. And we integrate it all together with a lot tight integration. So you don't see two different products like others, you see it only one. Therefore, Gartner report Juniper is the only networking company as a visionary in the Gartner report of location services. And if you look, there is no other network company in the visionary or leader at all. They are all still in the niche player or even in the challenger and with far away to come. Nothing more actually exciting us at Juniper, more than Gartner report, to certify it or to give us the thumb up about the network vision and the future coming along, about more than the client like yours. You are more opinion, you're more important than anybody else. When we promise you with something, we need to deliver that promise for you. And this is the full survey for clients around the world. We won in 2019 the best customer peer review. We won it in 2020, and guess what? We won it also in 2021. So 3 years in a row. But I didn't have still the certified, logo to put it as 2021. We have the best number or the highest number of review. We have the best 5 stars. And think about it yourself. If you go to noon.com or to amazon.com, you like to buy something. You look about how many that product review had and how many 5 stars or thumb up they had. This gives you assurance and credibility that yes, in real life scenarios, this product or technology perform and help the individual. And this is our mission 100%. And to give you an example more in depth, nobody like you or large company will wake up at mid of night, okay, guys, let's change our network from that brand to Juniper or to others, to spend money and to lose the investment, or a fresh cycle. If you are happy with somebody, you continue. It should be a reason. And here we list a couple of the use cases, and this statement here from the individual CIO of every single institute you have. And let's take example, and I will make a couple of verticals so we're covering everybody in the audience. UPS is the largest logistic company in the world, okay, and they are operating in more than 130 countries. Think about it. What they realized after deploying Juniper, and this by their statement, and the CIO David Cooper, they realized that they have able to reduce the mean time to repair from 48 hours to 2 hours, which make it 96% reduction. Think about this saving of money. Gap. We have gap in the Gulf and Middle East, and it is worldwide. What they realize after deploying the same, that 85% of the site visit requirement has been disappeared. And let's go backward one moment about the pool review. When we ask how you like to troubleshoot the problem, it was the highest thing that we will ask the user to reproduce the problem. That means most of the time I need to be on site to see the problem. And this is getting eliminated, and we'll let you know how we do that. MIT University in education, the statement, and they are the core of AI worldwide. It's like we woke up from a dream deploying this. They deployed 12,000 access points in less than 3 months using even the student. This is how easy it is. And go the whole list on and on. And this is another list of customers that the largest in the world, they trusted Juniper, and they moved from other companies. And it's important. None of them, they have no network before. They all had network from the beginning, and they moved to Juniper. And this is just a sample. Like Walmart, more than 240,000 access points, 1,000 switches, the largest single enterprise customer in the world, decided and moved to Juniper 2 years ago and still growing with us. So they are focusing on the user experience, deploying AI, all of them. They are trusting the microservices cloud to offload the complexity of building, controller-based management solution, all this hidden within their own environment. Worry about security patches, redundancy, upgrade, update. That's part of history. And of course, they love to have the digital transformation, so they need to prepare for it. And many of them already deployed it. So what we do differently, and this is important now, okay? The first thing, we provide client insight. So this is the user experience thing. So when device attached to Wi-Fi network or to the switch, we collect more than 150 different things might go wrong. And this is reflecting to what most issue happen to the wireless network. It was the weak coverage. Imagine that you will be able to see individual user coverage almost in real time. And if there is an area have bad coverage without moving from your share, that is a power. So we register the experience. We give you, if there's anything go wrong beyond your acceptable KPI, who has it, when he have it, and the reason why. Is it correlated with the other devices? Is it him alone? Is it that building? Is it this X points, that switch? All that we give it to you so you can fix it and recover it at no time. You don't need to send an engineer to do packet capture anymore. It's done automatically for you. So you don't need to worry about it. You don't need even to worry about how to configure it. After that, AI. Think about all this simplicity we provided to you. What else we can provide you on top of that? Simple. Additional AI engine called Marvis. Marvis came from the Iron Man, by the way, as an idea. And it was inspired by the way AI could help the hero, which is you guys, how to operate the machine, the network in our side. So we have it. So we took and we create a new concept of how you manage networks. Rather than look to the dashboard, even it's simple, intuitive, nobody else has similar details and depth like we do. We give it an uplift. Why you don't ask the system using normal English language, a question. What's wrong with Falcone iPhone? Or what's wrong with my laptop? Ask, and the system should answer you. That device was connecting here, having that problem, or the device has no problem. Or even if nobody complained, can I ask about unhappy user who was not happy from my service today before I go to my weekend? Yes, we make that happen. And even proactively can tell you if there's something will go wrong, and we'll show you an example for it. Now, microservices, the cloud changed the way of handling your network. So you don't need to worry anymore about upgrade, updates, security patches, any of these things, that part of the history. Also, in addition of that, you don't need to worry about scalability. Like if you deploy to the wireless network, you need to make sure the controller will cater for the future expansion. If you're having management software for the switches, what you do? Okay, today I have 20 switches, but I'm going 40. Does the server handle 40 device elements when I add license or not? If I need to add location services or analytical, does my hardware capable or I need to add more? You don't need to worry about it. That all happen in the microservices for you, and we'll talk about it now in details. What about the new feature, the digital transformation? Can I have my normal Wi-Fi more useful? So I am connecting user, I am giving the guest portal, I am having my security, all that fine, done. Can I have something else? Can I have more information about my asset movement in the building? Can I know about the user movement criteria, the profiling? And of course, we would love to hear from you individually later or today about your businesses and how this can help you. Like in education, we can give you example how you can use it with the student, in the healthcare, with the patient, and the hospitality, how you can elevate the guest experience. In the enterprise, how you can define the meeting room occupancy and who come where and what, and you really utilize your real space without an overlay solution. We talked about microservices and the cloud benefits. So what was the idea for it? First of all, future agility. We do upgrade for the cloud every single Wednesday. So yesterday it was an upgrade. So you have every Wednesday bug fixes, security enhancement, patches, or a new feature. And this is without a single downtime. Since the inception of our system in 2015, there's zero downtime since then. Comparing to other cloud operators, from the networking side. We know that the A vendor has 8 hours downtime, okay, a couple of weeks ago when they tried to upgrade, and that was already on their website. And apology for the customer, we don't have that thanks to the microservices architect. Reducing risk. Think about when you like to upgrade a management software that managing switches, wireless, WAN, and you have integration with SIM solution or integration with analytical reporting engine or NAC solution, and something went wrong. That was not working. Then there's a rollback and there's a downtime. What this happened with our cloud, it's reducing the risk. Every service get upgraded by itself, and there is no dependency on other. And you have a single platform, which is the source of truth. Consistent performance, regardless how many users you have, how many services you enable. You know, like consume whatever you can consume, but there's always more resources for you. So there's nothing called, oops, you reached the limit and I cannot deliver anything more to you. So it's consistent performance, infinite resources. You just grab what you like to grab. Cloud built for data. When we start for microservices, the idea is not only the cloud, it's also our hardware. Like every single access point has an abstraction engine taking data from the user, okay, which is RF data, by the way, not user data, and compress it, take the incremental and feed the cloud. The switches, since day number one, Juniper switch was the only switch sent telemetry data in detailed functional item about the switch performance. And by the way, it's open standard, all of it based on API. Client experience, this is the focus and this is the endpoint always. By measuring so initiation till session termination, what happened in your journey? You spend 2 hours in the site, we give you the 2 hours experience. So our unified solution consists of 3 phases. The architect, we help you with it. Then, you know, we agree about the design, everything, and all the requirements. Then we start offering our deployment things to you or through our partners. Okay, and this is where you start touching the AI part, which is the design phase for it, and then the deploy, DTP. You know, it's easy, plug and play. Everything should run within 5 to 10 minutes. Then it's the more valuable added benefit from Juniper is the operation. When you see the simplified operation and the AI ops kick in, I will give you what our solution, our offering, high level offering. So the first thing, all our products share the same core AI. So it's the brain in the cloud. There's nothing we offer without AI, you know, as a foundation. So AI cannot be added to a product as, okay, tick mark. It is there. So this is our cloud with all microservices. Wireless is the first delivery service. So it is like one arm. We give it to you. This is the services. The second one is the wired. The third one is the WAN, the SD-WAN. The fourth one is the real-time location services, which is linked to the Wi-Fi as an access point. Then we couple it all the way together with service level expectation. This is the minimum offering from us. This is, you know, with the box, with the minimum activation code. Then we add as an option for you Marvis, and I will show you the benefit of Marvis and how to change the way of managing network. Okay, and after that, we give you access to API, and we don't charge for API access. You can build your own automation. You can integrate with your own business, you know, engine, or we can give you webhook for real-time update and IoT devices. So what we give you, full AI from the core to the top, single source of truth. You can manage your wireless, wire, WAN from a single source, measuring the user experience. You can scale, you can start with one AB, one switch, and you can lead to million, and millions. There's nobody ask you what is the limit for your expansion. One site, multiple sites, one country, geographically distributed, single manager, or multi-tier management. All that is fundamental in our offering. Root cause analysis with a single mouse click, that changing the game for you in how to operate. And of course, we added to analytical and engagement. I will talk now about how we move together, okay, and we change it. And I will be light on this, so we'll spend, less time to, finish on time. First of all, day zero, and this is always all the vendor talk. Skip it, and we talk about it. We work with you closely to define the need. So in order to have a great experience and solid foundation, okay, network operation should be mapping day zero to day one to day one plus plus, which is the whole life cycle. So when they are all in line together, you will see it is much easier to maintain the network and to troubleshoot it and to enjoy the fulfillment. So when day zero, you define the business goal, what you need to achieve, what your KPI, what the must to have as a configuration, you put it on the system as like the blueprint. After this, what you do is day one. Day one is very simple with us. You just send the switch, access point, plug and play. You have virtual chassis will be auto provision as a virtual chassis. You have access point, it will be auto provision. It will be auto assigned to which side, taking all the profile. You can have multi-tier profiling between site A, site B, or all the same multi-floor. That is by itself. So you only in the design phase, you plan it. Day one, you send your technician to install. You don't need engineer on site to deploy. After this, become day two, which is many of the vendors, they like, to not highlight these items because day one, many people they claim ZTP. Day two is more important. Now the network up and running, do they able to give you user experience or not? The user experience including monitoring of the session, association with the wireless network, the DHCP. Is your switch uplink congested or not? Is the downlink is good or not? Do you have a bad cable? Remote branch of your operation. If there's a bad cable, do you like somebody to bring it to you attention without sending anyone, without using any fluke tester machine or thing? We are able to do that and we prove it many times. If your DHCP is doing something wrong, and give you more, you configure one VLAN missing somewhere and one of the user on a specific application facing an issue will alert you as AI, that user tried to use that VLAN on this switch, okay, and it's missing. This is the way. Ending up, okay, with day two, driving now. So I don't need to bother you with many things. Like in the wireless, we use machine learning reinforcement to enhance the wireless experience. And this is nobody else used in the market. Everybody uses standard RF planning. We take it all the way differently. Do you like if there's a hardware issue that the system will do auto RMA for you? We do that to raise a support ticket for you and you will receive a message. Okay, can you confirm the shipping address? Because we believe that device is having a problem. Also, if there's a coverage issue, as we mentioned in the pool, you like the system to highlight for you where's the coverage hole and what could be the best way of covering. Like we'll give you all the help and assistance. If the software you are using is not more recommended, you need us to auto upgrade for you or at least take your permission to do so. So that where's the self-driving coming across all the way. Software issue, hardware issue, framework upgrade suggestion, RMA, all these kind of things, it's part of the thing. And now I will show you actually how Marvis changed the way of the game. Okay. Now this is our interface. This is Marvis landing page on a real system. And let's ask the system a question. Okay. And here, I am an IT manager. They're welcoming me. Welcome. So, and you have immediately 5 things to do. 5 access point having an issue, and let's select one of them having a health issue. So this issue coming as a software problem, and we suggest you to upgrade it all the way to a specific version. So now the upgrade is working. Let's ask you for a permission. Shall we upgrade it for you? So we are not asking you to upgrade. We will do it. So you said yes. We upgraded. Fine. Now still we don't have trust machine, right? So we would like to verify, and we write in English, show access point list in that site. So the access point will be listed. You can sort it with the version details, and after this you can verify, is it the same version or it's not the same version. Okay, so done. Now let's ask another question. My client is not working, and guess what? I write it now, it's wrong English. So client is not the right way. The system was able and give me unhappy users. The unhappy users, select any of them, let's select Mr. AB6, okay, and give me a problem. Okay, this guy, he have a problem, he could not connect. Let me see what the problem is. Oh, is the DHCP exhausted? So there is no more IP pool. And this is how it is. Do you like to see when happened? I click on the failure timeline. So now the system will show me, okay, when it happened. Fine. Do you like me to see the client inside? And this now experience monitoring. So it's not about log file. Expand it. I will see it. Okay, here. And you see all the milestones the customer has within that day, up to 7 days with all good, bad, and neutral. And the system is still asking you, do you find it helpful? I said, no. The system will ask you politely, shall I open support ticket for you? If I say yes, and we'll say yes, 1 second here, yes, the system will open ticket for you in your behalf with all this communication, okay, that you did with the machine, and we'll take it to the support to help you further if was not so. Now, the other things as an example, and you will think, remember we mentioned, okay, about application to the cloud. Let's ask, Abby's my colleague, Microsoft team call is bad. So we ask that one. So we click on one of the sessions, you have it. I will double check. Graphically, I will show it to you from client to cloud. Okay, this is important. And let's double check. The device was okay. The wireless, there's an amber color and there's a red color on the firewall. So let's go to the X point and hit click. And this is now, there's a non-Wi-Fi interference affecting the wireless signal, could affect a little bit the code, which is okay, fair enough. Click on the firewall, we change the game now. The WAN interface completely have high latency. This is causing the problem. Think about it this in different way. You don't have Juniper, you don't have Marvis. This issue, how many days will take you to figure it out? And this is how it benefits the operation and reducing the OpEx. Another subject before we moving to the other part of the questionnaire is the location services. We mentioned that let's change, okay, the network, elevate the requirement, take it to the second level. The Juniper, what we call it, the advantages. So Bluetooth becoming very essential, and everybody has Bluetooth. There is no single phone or tablet or even smart watch doesn't have Bluetooth. And the use cases, and please feel free to contact us to share use cases, retail, hospitality, education, healthcare, even the aviation and airport, there's a use cases. Mobile app become essential, okay, and you can utilize a lot. Why Juniper is different than others? Every single vendor in the market today has Bluetooth in their wireless devices, okay? But Juniper advantage is at the hardware level and the software. Hardware is patent to us. So important, patent to us, that means nobody using it except us. We have directional Bluetooth antenna, which is changing the game of the accuracy and the intuitive of the representation and the response time. So we don't have one antenna and the customer could be anywhere. We know the customer in which direction because we have 16 antennas. And we mobilize this as well to virtualize the beacon. So the plastic beacon that from other vendor with the battery, it become part of history. We virtualize it from the X point to the air. You can define as many as you want. You can change the location. And to configure it, no, not really. Because machine learning will take all this headache from you and move it and will auto-configure itself, will auto-profile every single device in the network and will just give you the accuracy, that location, and this is the time they spend it in that virtual zone and get that message. If you have a business flow, can be integrated with and move it. Just a sample what you can deliver without having any additional product. Any additional integration is the digitization and the transformation. Workplace, you can give to your business guys or the marketeers, okay, how many visitors in the building or how many employees they have, where they spend it, in the floor 1, floor 2, or in the meeting room 1 or 2, or in the coffee shop within the building, or in the smoking area. Is the meeting room busy or not busy? What the trend for it? So the report can be decided whole, floor-based, or virtual zoning. You like to represent it in a visual way. Where's the most spending time happen in your building? This is an example. The red, people spend more time. The blue, the white is less. It's like the temperature heat. It's not RF heat map. It's time heat map. And we have two things. We have the dwell time, which is the consumed time totally in average, or the waiting time, which is very critical if you're having a customer service, like a car repairing, you know, hotel reception, government reception, any building reception. You like to see waiting time average in certain area. So you give you indicative about, are you doing well? You like to reduce it, enhance it, is it good enough? You decide. Also, how many visitors go where? So here you see in retail, in school, okay, in anywhere, where's the hit area? Where's the more people appear? This is not time, this is quantity now. Or you like to see it live for whatever reason you like to have. Where's the user moving and what kind of user you have? COVID-19 gave us a lot of headache. We were the first company to give the solution because it's part of our, you know, criteria and our location services is the occupancy. Occupancy that you can define any area. You need to define 7 guys here or 6 guys here, and you can define it per area what the maximum occupancy allowed. If it exceeded, we'll send you alert immediately, or you can give it for a business to check the meeting room, is it busy or not? In a hospital, which restroom it's empty or lab is empty? In a hotel, is the restaurant empty or not? Can you share it with your customer without accessing your network? Absolutely yes. Can you, trace proximity between users if you like to enable that feature? That means if somebody tested positive, who was near to them in that area? And so you, instead of blocking the whole building, like 12-floor organization or school, and there's one student in that classroom, so I know who was near to him at that time. So only we ask these guys to be isolated or tested. In a hotel, the same. In normal company, the same. So it has many, many use cases. After COVID, it's nice to utilize, your real estate. See where it's busy, where it's not. Is it safe to go here and there? In public restaurant, let me see if the mall put it. Is that restaurant good or bad? So this is just a few points about what AI and location services digitization can help your organization to move with. And this is my last slide actually for today. And I really appreciate your time and thank you. I will go now for another type of quizzes. I hope we'll have good answer now before we move forward to the next. Thank you. Back to you, Falguni.
Thank you, Rafat. Very, very interesting presentation. Just waiting in case the Mindware team would like to take over at this stage for the next part of the quiz and the poll. So in case.
Thank you, Rafat. Arun.
Yeah, go ahead.
So
please.
we have
go
an
ahead,
exciting.
Please.
No problem. So we have an exciting quiz, a quick short quiz for you, and hope you all enjoyed the presentation as well. It was extremely informative and an eye-opener of what today, how AI can affect our lives and our daily work routine. So we have a new a quiz to see how well you are able to, to just see how your understanding went on it. Please log in with the same link that you see in front of you. There is a game pin that is in front on the screen. And I will put it on the chat window as well. for everybody to access. We have just 4 questions, and if the winner who gets all of them right, the points, the top winner gets $175 voucher, and we have 2 runner-ups who can get $75 voucher each. So wishing you all the best, and I need you to log in with your actual names to be able to determine the winner. So we have 2 participants. I wait for the other participants to join. There is Al-Faraz, Ahmad, Shivang, great. There are a lot many more. Please come ahead, come forward. It's a very interesting prize for a voucher. There you can go shopping in the mall of for $175. I hope everybody can access the link. We had few attendees who didn't do a poll in the beginning. So for them who didn't do it, just for you to know, click on the link on the left side in the chat window, enter the game pin, and once everybody is joined, we will start the quiz. We have 6 participants so far. I can see there are a lot more attendees who can join. It'll just take 2 minutes of your time, and I'll make sure it's worth it. Please go ahead. I'll give it another minute before I start the quiz. If anybody is having a problem accessing the link, please type on the chat window so we can help you. Great, so I'll press the start button now. So we will have the first question on the screen, and you have 20 seconds to answer that. I'm sorry, 1 second. Have I? Excuse me for a moment. I think I've clicked the wrong link. Just give me a second, please. Apologies, audience. I will give you another game ID. Can you please log in from there? Can you exit and enter the game ID 1636691 on the same link, please? Thank you. The link is the same. You need to follow exactly the same steps, just a different game pin, please. Okay, so our players are coming back in. We had 4 or 5 more. Let's give them a minute. Great. So we have 8 participants. So I have started the quiz now. You will see the first question with points on the screen. All of them are with double points. What is the name of Juniper's AI network assistant? Extremely easy. We have 3 answers come in. Two more people to answer. Is it Jarvis, Marvis, or Harvis? Okay, looks like most of you got it right. Excellent. Now we move to the next question. which you will see in front of you. How does Juniper wireless capture for a network error? Do they have to send an engineer with a wireless sniffer? Or a user needs to reproduce a problem? Or the AI engine does it dynamically without any manual intervention? Very easy. Looks like almost all of you all are being paying attention. Excellent. Thank you. We move on to the next question. What is the first step in a wireless LAN life cycle? What do you start with as you plan your migration or refresh? It's design, diagnose, deploy, or define. Which is the first step? Okay, great. We have everything come in, and so far I can see on the leaderboard, Ahmed Abdul Waha is leading. We have Al Faris on the second number, and Ahmed Mohammed. So these are the top 3 participants. We have our last question, which will make the difference. All the best. Now, can you all tell me, what does Juniper wired assurance support? Is it supported for all the switches from all vendors? Current Juniper campus switches? None of them, or only the new switch, such as 400? Excellent. So our game ends, and you will see your points in front of your screen. And if you want to see who's the winner, you can look at my screen. So on number 3, it's Faris Akbar. We have Ahmed Mohammed as the second runner-up and Ahmed Abdul Wahab as the first runner-up. Thanks, rest of you all, for participating. Congratulations to the winners. We will be sending you the vouchers across. We'll be contacting you back for your contact details. Thank you so much. Over to you, Arun.
Thank you very much, Mindway team. Very, very fascinating quiz over there. I wouldn't have, if I had tried, I don't think I would have won, although I've been paying attention. Some very interesting questions. So, Rifat, if you can come back, we have a little bit more of time, and we have just a few questions which I would like to pose to you. So very interesting presentation along with the poll. I like the beginning part about the recognition from Gartner about true AI, and also about the summary which you put about the sharp reduction in tickets with this built-in AI. Can you give us an idea if, let's say, the tickets, the creation of tickets gets reduced to that extent, how does operational expenditure get reduced at the end customer? Some of the queries coming in, will this have an immediate impact on my OPEX? Go ahead, please.
Yes. First of all, I'd like to thank everyone for the participation in the quiz and for the nice answer, actually, which is I am happy to see that the fulfillment done and everybody absorbed the information we delivered. That's the best thing for me having today. Back to you as answer. Always the most struggling and operational cost in any organization is how to make the network and keep it up and running. So help desk, always struggles when they receive a call, how many calls they receive per day, how to define what's critical, what is not critical, and what the impact on the business. And this is important. So we, as Juniper, we save in the following criteria. And you saw the example about Gap and even UPS and many others. So number of tickets get reduced is number 1 due to the automation and self-driving. Number 2, the ticket when it reaches the help desk, okay, it comes with all needed information. We have, for example, full integration with ServiceNow. It's one of our partners. And the ticket, it will be self-created with all technicality. So now time for the help desk guy or personnel will be reduced to minimal to support the customer. So I don't need as much as before people. This is the first impact. And secondly, and it's difficult to quantify for operation. Now, the time to repair, if I reduce it from 2 hours and we have customer in UAE without mentioning name, They had problem with a single vendor for 16 months, trying 3 software upgrades to fix it, and they failed. So imagine that, revenue losses, the people they are involved. This all costs money and reducing productivity. So you lose productivity, you lose revenue, you lose sometimes reputation in front of the market, and all this is come to your operational bottom line. This is where we save a lot of money. If any customer has like a network, we can come and we do calculation for him. If he deployed today Juniper with the AI solution with us, how much he will save. So the CapEx is one element, but OpEx is where the money lies, and this is where we save you hard money back to your pockets.
Very interesting. Thanks for that answer. Another question coming that would have legacy network switches and infrastructure in place. If I bring in Juniper Mist, AI Mist, will this work with my legacy infrastructure? Go ahead, please.
Okay, yeah. Again, we work on a standard base. So if you have like non-Juniper product as a switches or SD-WAN or router firewalling, of course, you can add Juniper wireless on top of it, working without any issue with, prerequisites of normal Ethernet PoE requirement standard, and you have the full function. If you can mix Juniper switches with the other core old one, because the refresh cycle coming next, for example, year or something, absolutely, yes, you can mix and match, and you can get all the benefit in Juniper AI for Juniper product. And also we give you some visibility for non-Juniper product based on standard protocol like LLDP. So we have people, they're having X and Y vendor, the switches, and using our wireless, and even we could figure out if they are using an old software in their switches, if they have PoE issues, if there is some spanning tree going on and up and down, even using standard LLDP. So the answer in conclusion, yes, they can.
Okay, very interesting. Now I want to go to the last few slides where you showed the very interesting slide about the 16 antenna directional array, which allows the locational positioning of the Bluetooth low energy devices. Now, some time back, I did a review of a robo, and the robo has obviously built-in intelligence for movement and all that, but I had to map the area before. In your mapping which you showed, does the network do this automatically, the mapping for the BLE? Go ahead, please.
Yes, thanks a lot for the question. Very, very interesting question. First, going back to the Aruba scenario. Aruba, you need to have two things. You need to have a physical beacon to assess the access point for accuracy, and you need to build it manually, and you need to configure each and individual beacon by itself. Secondly, you need a different product called Meridian or location and engine to integrate, and it takes resource, time, and even complexity. In our scenario, when you deploy your normal Wi-Fi, you just upload the floor plan in our Wi-Fi and you are done. You don't need to deploy Bluetooth from day one. It's okay. You just activate it after a couple of months. You decide to use it. Everything is auto configured by itself. Using the machine learning, will auto adjust all the BLE power and fingerprint, and you will have only the joy of location services. We did a couple of times in customer as a POC, and we finished the deployment from 5 to 10 minutes, and the customer was, wow, that still we are talking to other vendor to plan it, and we finish it in 5-10 minutes, and it was an educational customer in the region, okay, and who did actually place an order and start using it and enjoying the location services in their unit.
Very interesting. I actually liked how you had presented the occupancy, the dwell time, wait time, and especially in mass transit areas like, let's say, Dubai Expo coming up in the year, or the Dubai airport, where 90 million passengers passed through in 2019. What would be the other use cases for this sort of mapping which you are doing? One is, of course, retail, but other than that, go ahead, please.
Let's have the education as one example. University, and it's a good vertical. And this we had, by the way, in Europe. Assuming the student living in the university campus, and they are moving between the accommodation and the university, and there's a pattern. The student woke up in the morning, go to the campus, enjoy the classes, meeting the mate people, and going to the cafeteria, lunch, going back to the lab, then again accommodation. So there's always behavior. So we can give, yes, that we're finding, we can give the quiz and the question information, alert, the schedule, where's the lab, the asset tracking, but we have a special use case that studying the individual student well-being. If there is any behavior deviation from the standard about his location, spending time, then it could be an alerting the student moving to a depression, or actually to a risk for his life. Especially in Europe and US, still we did not reach that level of life complication, but give you an indication about even profiling. In hospitality, think about the VIP customer coming to your hotel, using your loyalty program, welcoming him, guiding him. With the contactless innovation, I go to the elevator, I don't need to touch the bottom. It will be taking me automatically to which floor, because they know the elevator now aware I am that room 101 in, so it can pick me up there. I can use it to open the door. I can use it for restaurant to see busy, not busy with the occupancy. I can see the beach. I can request a service. In the healthcare, I can guide the patient to the doctor directly, and I inform the doctor when the patient arrives, because this is proximity, right? And I save the missing gap between patient and patient. And we know that if the patient didn't arrive on time, they give 10 minutes, and this 10 minutes accumulated in a hospital, it could actually save people's life completely. And this cannot be measured with money. It's just a few examples of what could happen.
So very interesting between the education, healthcare, and hospitality, how we can use this locational services, and great solution from Juniper over there. I'm quite sure all the end customers and channel partners will build very interesting solutions from this. Now we are actually coming to the end of our 60-minute session. But before we go, Rafat, I would like you to give some key takeaways, some recommendations, best practices, anything you want to leave with our attendees. Go ahead, Rafat.
Thank you a lot. And again, I would like first of all thank everyone for your time today. We know that it's the end of the week and the time it might be critical for you to go and catch others. But going forward, when you decide to move and refresh your network, think about AI. It's a fundamental. How you can get the maximum benefit of your infrastructure, how you can reduce the man hours you need to spend on your network, and how to get the digital transformation in the way. So look always about the outcome as a benefit. Don't look only about how much it costs me as a switch or as an access point. The technical capability for a switch as performance bits and bytes and stacking and unstacking access point 2, 3 kind of feature, it's become non-relevant that much. Of course, you need to have with a minimum standard. Think about the benefit of the software running and powering this thing, and think about more about OpEx saving. This is where you differentiate your company and the way moving and competing in the market. So think about it, cloud first, AI is fundamental. If we don't have these two things, we will be out of the market. Okay, no matter. Competition is there, and this is make you much more positioned and valuable to your end user, your customer, internally or externally, than your competitor. And wish you all the best, and looking forward to meet individually with all of you and looking for your requirements. Thank you.
Thank you, Rafat. Absolutely brilliant presentation. Really enjoyed the learning over there, especially the movement to software, to AI, and of course the huge amount of Bluetooth and intelligent devices which are going to come onto the networks. Really enjoyed the quiz and poll and the interaction with the Mindware team. So great stuff over there, Rafat, and thank you, Mindware. With that, I'd like to close the session. So on behalf of Global CIO Forum, Juniper Networks, and Mindware, I thank all the attendees for sitting through the 60+ minutes. Absolutely engaging content and discussion, and look forward to seeing you once again. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Thank you. Thanks.